let's talk about the hidden power secrets. Okay, these two tips really have changed the way I strike the golf ball. And we're going to talk about wrists, we're going to talk about this sort of parachute effect and how you can just strike that golf ball a little bit better, hit it a little bit further, create some more power, and really start enjoying your golf a little bit more. Let's get into today's video. So there are two stages to today's drill, and we're going to be looking at this with irons and then how it also applies to driver, but the two stages to what actually we're trying to do will remain the same. Important points to note just with driver is, I want you to think about them the same, but just with a different setup. So obviously when we have a driver in our hand, the ball will be a little bit closer towards our left heel, really encouraging these shoulders to be set on a little bit more of a tilt. But we're going to start with an iron. Okay, so the first stage to all this is getting that understanding of what we're wanting to do with our wrists. And just to start with showing you my new irons. I mean, I'm absolutely in awe of these. I think I could butter my toast with that forearm. But guys, get in those comments down below if you'd like to see a full What's in the Bag 2021 up on the channel. Go What's in the Bag down below. I'd love to see how many of you are actually interested in what I'm using this year. Okay, so let's get into this video now. If you come to the face on perspective with me, I want you to understand is, if you've got to think about it this way, you organise the wrists and the body correctly and then add some speed, you will grate a lot more power. Whereas you could try and swing really fast but organise the wrists this way into impact, all your power is going to be thrown up into the air, a little bit scoopy, and that's not exactly the best way we want to swing the golf club. So just place the golf club on the ground to begin with. Doesn't matter where it is. I want you just to place your hands out in front of you as I have done here, palms facing each other. And I want you just to go hip height into the golf ball. And I want you just to practice organising your wrists the way I have here. So you can sort of see how this has got a little bit bowed, this has got a little bit cupped. We're just going to go, just getting a feeling of what we're trying to do. Now remember, as I said, this tip is all the same no matter if we're using irons or driver. We're just manipulating how we set up to the golf ball. So we're going to stand here now, make some practice swings and marry up what you just did, sort of hip height, through, and now go a little bit faster for me, make more of a fuller swing. But really work on that feeling of, as opposed to this. And the reason I say this is forever and ever and a day, and you probably can relate to this, I was always one of them golfers who was like this. Weaker, scoopier ball flights, never that driven and direct flight that we all love to see. Especially here, right, on a links golf course. Check out this, Montrose Golf Links. See if anybody can tell me a fact about this place. Get in them comments too. Okay, so the first stage of this is to organise these wrists into the golf ball this way, okay? I now want to take this onto the next stage. So the next stage being this. Grab your golf club and just get your towel around the golf club. I've chosen this one because I don't want to put it around my brand new club. This is still new, but not as new. But you can simply do this with any. I recommend doing it with an iron or possibly go and getting an old club. That would be something that I would recommend. So let's think about this logically. We think about Olympic sprinters. Olympics are just gone, right? They will train with a bit of a parachute on the back, right? To really make it harder for them to run. This is the sort of the same theory here. So if you swung a golf club and you've done that in that stage one of sort of feeling this douche, feeling this douche, okay, we're now going to complete the same thing, but we're going to do it from a sort of a standing start with that club sort of here, okay, and just feel there's sort of a bit of a resistance now. The towel may come off. Just simply pop it back over and pop it back on. But you'll start to feel there's a little bit of a resistance through here. Now you create that resistance with a bit of tension, with a bit of some good mechanics. Now you're helping train your explosive power in your golf swing. This might sound far-fetched, but if you think of any other sport where you would overtrain, this is essentially what we're trying to do right now. So towel on, we're picturing organising the wrists this way, the towel's on, sort of that extra bit of power. What you should start to be feeling here is that your core is very switched on and your wrists are organised like this. So core switched on, through, let it go down, really feeling those positions. Okay, so let's lose the towel here. It's now time to hit 2 shots away. Let's start with the iron, how we're going to build it on. So we've done stage 1, organise the wrist correctly. Stage 2 is get that feeling of sort of overtraining with a bit of a parachute sort of analogy, resistance. Essentially, just making you work harder to do the same thing. So we get over the golf ball now, you can smash it away. Oh. So you'll really be able to feel you loading that power through. And you think about it this way, what helps create more power is your wrists and organising the club this way. Let's move on to driver, because you may be thinking, Alex, well, I don't want to deal off the driver. I really don't want to do that. I agree. We want to bring roughly sort of around similar loft to, let's say in general, to what we have on the club at address, maybe a little bit less. But what I want you to realise is, and coming to this face on perspective, is if you organise your body this way and work through those same feelings, look how much more explosive power you can control, but also control the face. We're not adding explosive power in this way, we're adding it more in this way, and that is what I want you to get that feeling of. So simple tips today, it's organising the wrists, using the same swing thoughts with irons and driver, but just simply understanding that when we get with driver, the ball shoves up in our stance, the shoulders get a little bit tilted, and that helps us not hit up, down on the ball, but hit up on the ball and organise the wrists in a more powerful position and organise the body in a more powerful position. Okay, driver time. Let's hit driver away, down this fairway. Definitely want to be favouring this left side on this course, on this hole. Oh, a little bit toey. We should be okay on that left side over that bunker. There we go, guys. So thank you so much for watching today's video. Today's tips comes from Montrose Golf Links, and what a place this is. Some 2 simple steps for you to add more explosive power into your golf game.